Welcome to my channel. I am Husn Taj. Today I will share a short story of Naguib Mahfouz, The Mummy Awakes. Naguib Mahfouz was born in Egypt. He was born in 1911 and was died in 2006. Naguib Mahfouz also won Nobel Prize. So let's start the story. Mahmud Pasha al-Aranoti is Turkish by birth, Egyptian aristocrat by nationality and Francophile by choice. He had degrading notions about the local people. Very often he said the Egyptians are domesticated animals, docile by nature and submissive by temperament. For thousands of years they have lived as slaves of the tidbits from their rulers' tables. Mahmud Pasha loves French language, people, things, culture, and civilization. Pasha took France his second home. Sheikh Jadullah, his friend, came to Pasha one day and told him that by his knowledge he came to know that a treasure is hidden beneath his garden at a particular place. Professor Darian, an other friend of Pasha, and who is professor of Egyptology, also told him that when Jadullah is telling this, then it is true. Because it was Jadullah who discovered Komna, so Pasha agreed and allowed to dig the place. On the way to place of digging, Pasha and Professor Darian heard a big row. An Egyptian peasant was beaten by Pasha's servants. Peasant was blamed that he stole Beamish food because he was hungry. Beamish is the name of Pasha's dog. Pasha ordered to hand over the peasant to police. As they reached the place where work was on progress, Sheikh Jadullah came running to them and told them that they have found there something very expensive. They reached there running. Servants were trying to lift the stone. When they lifted it, they went downstairs. They saw a door there. Jadullah suggested to open the door by spiritual powers, but Pasha was in favor of physical power use. The door was tomb of General Hur of the 18th dynasty. Professor Darian led into the coffin room of General Hur, then entered Sheikh Jadullah and after him Pasha. The coffin was there along with were three life-size statues, one of a man, most probably Hur himself. The second was of a woman, maybe wife of Hur, in front of two, a minor boy. On opposite side there were boxes with locks, colored vases, seats, tables, and number of spears. The walls were full of drawings, paintings, and symbols. Pasha was happy and overexcited to get the treasure. Sheikh Jadullah noticed a bird flew there in a very mysterious manner. Jadullah said maybe it was soul of dead. Soon they saw the lid of coffin opened by itself. Mummy inside awake. Darian was the first who saw the mummy move. The mummy of Hur moves towards Pasha and addressed to him like this: How is it, slave, that you assaulted one of my descendants? You have forced a life of cruel subjection on him. You beat him with your cane. When he was hungry, you forced him to fellow human beings to do the beating for you. Are Egyptians really starving in their own country? Curse upon you, slave. Pasha was cursed by the Egyptian peasants many times, and he cannot bear one powerful curse of mummy of General Hur, who was important figure of 18th dynasty. Professor Daryan thought that he had seen the person before. Soon he was able to find that the stance of Hur resembled with the Egyptian peasant whom he had seen being beaten by the servants of Pasha for stealing the cooked food of Beamish. After talking, Mummy moved forward to Pasha, who fell down dead, really dead. Sheikh Jadullah too fell down on the floor. Professor Darian lost his senses. He called, losing his senses, good fortune, because he was not able to bear all this and became mad. Here comes the story to an end. The story shows social contrast of society. Pasha is a representative of aristocrat society. He is French lover. His friends Perry and Mr. Sorit are French. His living, drinking, eating manners are French. On the other hand, the Egyptian peasant throws light on misery of natives. Peasant steals to fill his hunger. Eating food of dog shows that natives have no say, no status, and no class in their own country. Beamish is given milk, bones, meat, and broth. Poor peasant says, I was hungry. I saw the cooked meat spread out on the grass. I could not resist. I haven't tasted meat since General Byram. This episode shows deepest misery of natives and cruelty of privileged class. Willing suspension of disbelief is exercised in this story in a very well manner. Willing suspension of disbelief was exercised by Aristotle, who said that using unusual and unreal events with such skill that readers willingly leave disbelieving the events and take them with the real soul. Writer tells Pasha is Francophile. He establishes this by describing his house in French museum. His friends Soret and Perry are French. Then beating of a peasant shows his cruelty, digging of mansion and discovery of General Hur and his family's mummies, cursing of mummy to Pasha and Pasha's death. All these seem real. Not even for a single minute we think it is impossible. The story throws light on menace of imperialism that shows how it works, how it makes people socially, economically, and mentally slave. So it was very interesting story which was described by Naguib Mahfooz. I hope so you have liked it. Take care of yourself till my next video. Ciao ciao.